Check a Pro Joe here on Check a Pro Radio. A question's come into the radio program by a homeowner. And the question is, do I as a homeowner need to pull a permit when I have a new air conditioning system installed in my home? So I've asked Brandon Day to join me from Daycool Heating and Air to answer that question. He is the expert. Brandon, how are you?
Good, good.
All right. I'm doing great. Does the homeowner need to get a permit, or is that something you guys help with?
No, we have to handle all that. You should be getting a permit for really. I want to say they set the threshold, depending on what jurisdiction, anything over like a $950 repair.
So it's a dollar amount, not necessarily what the project is.
Depending on jurisdiction around here, like the county, the city. So if you're changing a compressor or something, obviously you wouldn't need even though that's $1,000 ticket, you're not. But a permit just makes sure that the inspector comes and checks everything's up to code. It protects the consumer.
Do you find that slows down the process? Walk us through it here, the process. Someone buys a new air conditioning system from you. They're excited to get it installed. The homeowner wants it installed within 2 or 3 days. Can you get that done with the permit pulling process? How does that work?
Yeah. Well, ours is pretty automated on our end because of software and technology we have. But as long as we have a permit, we have a good rapport with all the jurisdictions, so they know we're not trying to pull some flim flam. If we got to get out there on a Sunday, obviously the county's not open or the city's not open, so you just pull the permit, get them going, call for inspection. The hardest part in the whole thing is usually coordinating the inspector, getting back in, meeting with the homeowner or whatever to come check stuff that would have to be indoors if nobody's home, if they're at work.
Yeah, so the inspection process itself hasn't changed. An actual human being has to come out and look and touch.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're pretty thorough with that.
Once again, that protects the homeowner. It's also a source of revenue and so forth for the government, but it's part of the process. It's kind of like getting your car inspected or having a driver's license. Glorified tax. Yeah, but you want to make sure the people who are driving on the road have at least had someone look at them at some point. And so it's really important that you follow the rules. So we've talked about before hiring subpar contractors, Brandon. If you don't hire a company that follows the rules with being insured and licensed, they're probably not going to pull a permit and not tell you they need to, right?
Well, they can't. Yeah, you can't pull a permit if you don't have a license.
So it's even worse, right? We've talked about it before. No license, no insurance, and obviously no permit pulling. And if that's the case, you could have a problem as a homeowner. Wouldn't that come back on the homeowner if the local government determined after the fact a permit wasn't pulled? There's a problem?
I don't know what they could do to them, but they would probably just say this guy did it, blah, 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 and try to track them down. As a contractor, I like the inspections because unfortunately in this day and time, everything's a liability. So if the jurisdiction said, hey, this is fine, and I'm have to ever defend our company, I would say, well, the inspector proved it was fine.
Absolutely. When you have an authority like that, if anything ever came up, you're right. Let's say that you ended up in court over something. You say, well, here's the document that said it was checked by the local government. So we told the customer what we're going to do. We did it. And then the inspector comes through and he said, yeah, you did it. Check, 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 signature, file, done. And I agree with you. When you're on the up and up, it's great. When you're not doing things correctly, you get hung up. And, that's a big problem. Well, thank you so much for joining me today again, Brandon. I really appreciate your expertise. By the way, everybody, to reach Brandon and his team at Daycool Heating and Air, just go to the show notes and there's a link to reach him directly. Thanks, bud.
Thank you.